If I had to rebuild my AI agency from complete scratch, this is exactly what I would do to go from 0 to 30K per month as fast as possible. If you don't know me, my name is Harsha, and in the past year, I've grown my AI agency to 30K per month consistently. Almost 2 years ago, I turned down my 70,000 per year corporate tech job to go all in on selling AI systems to businesses. And now I help other people start and scale their own AI agencies by licensing my exact business model or helping them in growing their own. So in this video, I want to walk you through and handhold you through the exact process that I would take to go from complete scratch at $0 to hitting that 30K per month consistent mark. First, I'm going to walk through the problem that we're solving and the offer we're actually providing that's going to solve this problem and add value for business owners. I'm then going to talk about how to get your first 3 clients using direct brute force methods and then build a sustainable system that consistently gets you inbound clients through this marketing. Then I'm going to break down the sales process and how you transition the sales process as the agency keeps growing. And finally, I'm going to break down the fulfillment and systemization of the business so you can hit that 30K per month mark and keep scaling beyond. All right, so I want to first just walk through my personal journey so you know exactly why I'm talking about what I'm talking about and how I got to where I am today. So this journey started off in November 2022 when I declined my full-time offer at Boeing so I could go all in on business. I was going to graduate in May. I got my degree at Georgia Tech with a bachelor's in electrical engineering that I don't really use much today. And in September 2023, I found my mentor and then joined a program that allowed me to design and build this business. First, I was selling a bunch of random custom AI offers. I was doing way too much coding and nonsense until I found this golden opportunity, which is exactly what I sell today. I use a technology called AI avatars, which can be any sort of avatar, right? It could be a cartoon, it could be a look and clone of a client, it could be a professional actor. And what I do is I have my AI agency, which essentially creates these AI avatars and fulfills them by providing value to business owners based on their specific needs. Now, I'm going to break down the actual offer and the value that I provide to business owners, but just to give some proof, I'm closing deals consistently like this client who paid me 12.5K upfront and several other clients who pay me multiple 4 figures or 5 figures for this service. As of recording this video in October 2025, I just finished the month hitting $32,500 in revenue across my processors. So now that you know that I know what I'm talking about, let's get into the actual opportunity and the offer. So the offer is very simple. What we're doing is creating AI avatars of business owners and influencers by cloning them with this AI avatar system. We're then going to create daily content without them needing to film videos all the time, be in front of a camera, go to a studio, whatever it may be. We're essentially removing the business owner as the biggest bottleneck for this content operation. And in doing this, we're going to maintain their authentic voice and personality with this AI cloning technology and by using a bunch of data and copywriting that they've already given us to then create scripts and quality pieces of content that sounds and looks just like them. We're then going to focus on scaling this across multiple platforms and have a system where we can produce content rapidly without needing the actual client. Now, there's multiple ways to monetize this system, right? You can go with a setup fee, which is essentially charging an upfront cost to set up the AI avatar and maybe like some content strategy and script writing. You can also charge a monthly retainer, which is what I do, where I charge $3,000 a month to $6,000 a month for a certain amount of videos per day or whatever they're looking for. I like the monthly retainer because I just know that I can lock a client into a 6-month, 1-year contract and know that every single month I will be receiving this amount of money. And if you want, you can also charge video packages like a $3,000 package for 30 videos, whether that be used for ads, content, in-house marketing, training, anything. The technology is super simple, and it's honestly why I like to sell this offer. You don't need technical knowledge. You don't need to know how to code. You just need to understand how to use these existing AI avatar systems and connect them to then create and deliver content for the client. I like to use tools like HeyGen for video cloning, 11 Labs for audio cloning, and sometimes I use Sora for like funny videos or UGC style videos. I host all of my content management and client portals on Notion, which allows me to just organize what content is going out where and when, and the scripts and all that other stuff. And then my team distributes it all to social media. Now, it's cool to sell something fancy and fun and shiny to business owners, but the reason and the only reason that they will want to pay you and keep paying you is if you're actually solving a problem for them. And so the biggest problem that we're solving with this offer is the fact that business owners don't have time to record content consistently or don't like being in front of a camera, but they know the value of social media brand in this day and age to build credibility and generate leads for their business. So the immediate solution is to build this AI avatar and a content system that allows them to post consistently and grow their personal brand on social media. The first step that I would take would be to actually just set this system up for myself, right? I would use Instagram, I'd use TikTok and set up an avatar for myself and then start posting content and with me as the proof of concept. I'd post super viral videos just to get a large amount of attention, like viral news stories, information, and then also tie in stuff like education. You can see, for example, here, this is exactly how I would go about it. I would create viral videos like Apple stole 150 billion from Google, right? It's a broad viral topic that a lot of people could care about, which means you can get a lot of views. And then I'd also create more niche videos like how to create 30 videos in a day or how to scale your brand, right? Or my biggest fear about never losing clients. These are more niche topics specified for business owners. So it won't go as viral, but you're probably going to target your ideal client audience. Now, this is how you want to get your first 3 clients once you build this simple proof of concept for yourself. Now, what I would do is first I would do warm outbound, right? I would create a list of all of my friends, family, coworkers, old employees, bosses, whatever it may be, every human I know that is in my phone list, my Instagram following, my LinkedIn connections, everything. Just take everything and write it all down in a Google Sheet. Once you write every single one of these people down, mark if they are a business owner or if they're in the general industry where they could value from something like this. Now, a lot of these people will not fit that category, but you still want to have conversations with them. But you want to prioritize this first group of people that you know could potentially value from this. Now, you don't want to just straight up call them and pitch them, right? Find something to actually come up with an intro, right? Whether they just had a new baby, they just moved into a new house, they got a new job, they just hit some milestone and they posted it on LinkedIn. Find something online that you can use as a kind of intro to have a natural conversation to re-engage with them. Especially if this is someone who you haven't spoken to in a while, you don't want to straight up just catch them out of the blue and ask for something, right? You truly want to have the intention of giving. And ultimately, with that mindset, you will receive. So I'll pretty much talk to these business owners or these people in my warm network and have that conversation, have that intro, catch up with them about life. When it feels right, I would pretty much be like, hey, like, oh yeah, I'm actually working on this like AI agency thing, I help people do XYZ, right? Give them your problem statement that you're solving and what you're talking about. Then I would pretty much try to ask them, what do you think about it? Like, I know you're a business owner. Do you think this could be potentially valuable to you? And identify if this would actually be a valuable solution for them. Now, if they feel like it would be a valuable conversation to have, then you want to push them to the next thing, which would be a separate call, a low pressure discovery. Now, I'll get into the sales process in detail later, but you want to push them to a sales call or a discovery call, a free consultation call, whatever you want to call it. And it would just be a simple way to create a low pressure environment for you and this person to not just talk about life, but actually talk about business and their biggest pain points, challenges, whatever it may be. Now, let's say that this person in my warm network that I wrote down is actually not a business owner. The thing is, they are 99% likely to know a business owner. So even if they could not be your potential client, they might know someone and can connect you to someone who is a potential client. You want to have the same exact conversation with them. You want to have the same exact flow and natural just catching up with them on life. But when it gets to talking about what you do, then you change it up. You could ask them if they could value from this, but if you know that they won't, you probably don't want to waste your time asking something like that. But rather, you want to ask, hey, is there someone in your network, friend, family, or someone you know that could value from this because they just work too hard in their business and they're not prioritizing XYZ? And if they do know someone, try to have that intro right then and there. Say, oh, do you mind making like a 3-way group chat so I could potentially talk to them and see if I can help them? You do this enough times, whether they be an existing business owner, whether they're not, whether they're your uncle, your cousin, your friend from the gym, whatever it may be, guarantee you there will be 3 people in that list that you will be able to offer this service to and help. And these 3 people are going to be your first clients. Now, at the same time, you can also do cold outbound. Cold outbound is going to be super simple, right? You just go through Instagram or all these social platforms where you would be selling the service and try to find people that maybe haven't posted content in a while. Maybe they just have an account, but they don't post content at all. Essentially, people that you know have an account would be open to posting content, but something is holding them back from actually doing so. Just send them a video DM just a 30-second DM saying, hey, I see that you have posted content for X amount of time, but you stopped. Like, I really love the videos. What happened? Did you just get too busy? Identify their pain points and have a normal conversation with them to see if you can actually help them. If you can, push them to this low pressure discovery and actually try to identify and understand the situation in detail. Cold outbound is a game of volume. If you send a message to 2 people a day and think you're doing a lot, I'm sorry, but you will get nowhere. When I first started this, I pretty much was sending 30 DMs a day, custom video messages that would take me 5 to 10 tries to actually get right so I don't stutter or say something stupid accidentally. And doing that for 3 weeks straight actually got me solid clients that wanted to pay me 3 to 5K per month for this service. So do the warm outbound, talk to people in your network, do the cold outbound, send out a large volume of messages, and at the same time, build that organic marketing channel. It's pretty much like I said, right? You want to be a proof of concept for this exact system. And so the easiest way to do that is by using that exact system to market yourself. Now, when you're starting out, organic content takes time unless you happen to be super, super lucky or you just put out a bunch of videos at once. But both of those take time to learn and acquire that skill, which is why when you're starting out, you want to focus on the warm outbound and the cold outbound. All of these interested leads and people that you get from warm outbound, cold outbound, and organic content are going to go towards this 2-call close sales process. Now, the first call is super simple. It's a low pressure discovery call or consulting call where you genuinely have a business aligned conversation about their current situation, their desired outcome, the pain points that are stopping them from getting to that desired outcome themselves, and some ROI metrics around how much value this sort of solution would add to their business. Collect as much ammo as you possibly can about the business owner, because when you give the proposal and create a custom proposal on a second call separately, that is when you want them to make a decision, right? You want to break down everything they spoke about and paint this vivid picture of the future of working with you. By the end of the proposal, they need to see this vision of what their life would look like, what their business would look like if they implement your solution into their business and into their content. And if you don't get the payment on the call, I'm sorry, but that is not a close. You want this proposal to be so strong that they are dying to work with you. And sure, sometimes you might get objections. People might be too scared to invest that much money because they never have before. For your first couple clients, I would suggest you actually offer a build out and setup for absolutely free, deliver value to them, and then start charging them after you've gotten them a certain amount of results. A lot of people ask me, how do I sell something if I don't have case studies? The reality is you don't. You offer it to them for free and get the case study as quick as possible. So then you can start selling with case studies. Like, so many people think there's some workaround or there's some crazy objection handle to it. But if you don't have the proof in the work and you don't have the sales skills to convince someone that you will make it work, well, it's a bit difficult to actually fulfill or sell something that is paid without having these case studies. And that's why if I was a beginner starting out, I'd want to do the 2-call close, because that first sales call will allow me to just have low pressure conversation with the prospect. They will drop their sales resistance and just genuinely be curious about learning what I can offer and answering the question. And this also gives me time to build this nice and neat proposal that I can present to the client and then handle any sort of sales objections or whatever. Now, let's get into the fulfillment. Once you close that first client, however you may close them, right? Whether that be a free setup and then you charge them after for management, or you just charge them upfront, whatever it looks like, you get your first clients. This is how I would fulfill. I'd first start out by actually creating the AI avatar, right? I'd use HeyGen to create the AI video avatar, 11 Labs to create the AI audio clone, and then I'd use maybe a tool like LipDub to do AI lip syncing. LipDub is pretty expensive. You don't really need it for every client. We only use it for some of our high tier clients that pay us like larger retainers. Now, once you get this AI avatar ready, and I have other videos on my YouTube on how to actually set it up, which you can take a look at, I would then go into the content strategy. I would have a content strategy interview with them about their current business, their offer, some of the client results they've gotten, and just collect more data on the type of content I want to create using the AI avatar. The reality is the AI avatar is just a fun gimmick and gift that allows you to save time and remove a bottleneck. But if you actually want to deliver results to a client, you need to be good at creating this content, which doesn't mean you need to be a marketing expert. You just need to know how to collect the right information about the business and package it in a way using AI to actually deliver and write good scripts for these business owners. So I'd conduct this content strategy interview. I would conduct the competitor analysis and just find the top viral videos in the industry already and just recreate them for my client. Finally, I'd create this content funnel, which is simply just creating some sort of ManyChat system or creating an optimized Instagram bio that drives leads and eyeballs from content into their actual business. Finally, I'd go into this content management, which is like scripting using a tool like Poppy AI, Claude, whatever it may be. I'd use clone generation and create the actual clone to present these scripts using a tool like HeyGen. I'd definitely hire someone to actually edit these videos unless you're charging a free service, in which case maybe you want to edit. Use something like the Captions app. It's really good at creating edits without needing you to do a bunch of complex technical like Adobe After Effects stuff. And then finally, I would post the content on behalf of the client because that is the whole point. We want to take care of the process end to end. And finally, this is optional but obviously beneficial, is just running content analytics and redesigning the strategy after you collect more data. You don't just want to keep posting the same content over and over because things change, the algorithm changes, data changes, the industry changes. You want to constantly be changing up your content, trying new things, and eventually something will hit. And I know I said a lot about the fulfillment, but the beauty is AI can handle 90% of the client fulfillment. So you really don't need to spend more than 3 to 5 hours per client fulfilling these videos. Unless you're doing editing, that's probably going to take twice as much time just in itself, which is why I recommend you hire someone. But even then, a lot of this work can be done by AI, and you're just the one using the AI to actually do it for the client. Now, what I would do is just keep getting more clients, building more case studies until I hit that 10K per month mark. Until 10K per month, you don't want to be automating anything. You don't want to be offloading too much because 10K per month is really an amount that people like to glorify online, but it's really just an amount that gives you the validation that what you are selling is actually valuable and people want to buy it. It does not mean that you are ready to make a $1 million business, a 30K per month business, whatever it may be, because that is where a lot of these next steps come in. Now, if you truly want to go from this 10K per month bottleneck that most business owners cannot cross into that 30K month and beyond, you need to do this one thing. And that is building productized offer. Let's say that a lot of clients that come to you just want to use the AI avatar for ads. That might be a strong indicator that whatever case studies and environment and just content that you've been posting drives more people to you that want that specific sort of service. So what you want to do is build a productized offer. You want to create templates that can be customized for each client. So 80% of the work is already templatized, and that 20% is simply just designing it and customizing it for a new client. You want to create repeatable processes around these templates so that you can just delegate it and offload it to other people, and then have systemized operations so that every person that you're working with has the exact same process and operations used that you or a team member is simply implementing. At this point, the exact AI avatar system that you're selling, this productized offer, should be the exact same way that you are getting clients for yourself. So at this point, your business should mainly be running on referrals and organic content. Unless, for example, you're using AI avatars for ads, then that should be the system that you're selling. Unless, let's say, like the example I gave, the productized offer is creating AI avatars for ads, then your main marketing mechanism should be paid ads. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is use the system to sell itself. That's literally the beauty of selling these lead generation marketing systems, is that someone that enters your own funnel should come through the exact system that you would sell to them. Because when it comes to the sales process, if they hop on a call with you, you can pretty much tell them the exact system that got you on this call with me today is the exact system I am offering for you to get more clients. And so the system does pretty much sell itself. Now, at this point, you pretty much want to go to a one call close because you're not building custom proposals for every business and every solution, right? So I'm going to break down the simple deck that I use to do these one call closes. I have a large discovery process. In the actual sales call, it's about the first 15 to 30 minutes of the call, understanding this exact stuff, right? The current situation, desired outcome, pain points stopping them from doing it by themselves, and ROI metrics. Then I go into the actual pitch, which is first talking about the process, right, in this productized offer. Then I talk about a bunch of case studies that I've gotten, right? Like, why us? Why are we so good? Who are our clients? What are the results that we've gotten for ourselves? What are the results we've gotten for every one of our clients? And so you can see at this point, I'm bombarding them with case studies. And what I like to do is at the end of this massive list of case studies that I show them, I ask them, hey, out of all of these case studies that you saw, which of these results aligns with you the best? And what that question allows for is it pretty much allows them to sell themselves, right? Like they are telling me what the results that I've already achieved for someone that they want for themselves. So whatever answer they give me, I'm pretty much like, oh yeah, we could definitely do that for you, just like we did for Frank or John or Eric, right? And then I transition into the pitch where I've essentially productized my offer in this way, right? I have a build out where people can essentially just get the AI avatar built out for themselves, along with the strategy done for you and the funnel setup. However, we don't necessarily do the actual day-to-day posting. But if someone wants to work with us on a fully done for you basis, I charge a higher monthly retainer with a 3-month commitment and then include this build out. So I pretty much waive this $4,500 build out and only charge for all of the monthly management. And I mean, I've already showed you, but the proof is in the pudding, right? And I have clients paying me every single month for my services. And at this point, to actually go from that 10K per month, spending hours doing the fulfillment yourself, and to delegating and where I am now, where I only need to spend 2 to 4 hours a week on client fulfillment because my team handles everything for me, this is what I would need to do. First, I would have a client portal just so I can deliver value to a client as quick as possible. I watched this Alex Hormozy video where he says there's a 24-hour window from when someone pays you in which they judge your business. If you can offer as much actionable value in that 24-hour period as possible, they are going to trust you and respect you and want to keep working with you. And so within that 24-hour period of someone paying us, I have a full client portal set up for them, along with a detailed video breaking down all the next steps and what they can expect. And the beauty is, I don't have to do that. I have these standard operating procedures breaking down every single phase by phase process on how I'm actually doing the fulfillment so that my team just looks at the document and does it themselves. It's stuff in the onboarding like client information collection, client communication, how to create the WhatsApp group, how to make the client portal, how to make the Google Drive. Everything is in detail. And then going all the way to the actual content creation. How do we ideate talking head videos? How do we script write? How do we do quality control? How do we edit the videos? Everything is broken down in absolute detail. So I know that whatever my team is doing, they're following the exact processes that I use to actually fulfill for some of my first early clients that got good results. And then for myself, I like to have this business operating system. Now, I'm a little OD. You don't need to do all of this detailed quick links, functional units, and organizational assets, right? A lot of this stuff I don't even use anymore, and it just kind of hangs out there. But it's really nice to have an organized operating system for your business where you know that marketing, everything is broken down. Strategy, everything is planned out. Your sales CRM organized by who are leads, who are, closed clients, who are in the pipeline and need follow-ups. This just keeps everything in one place. So I know that if I want to ever refer to or organize or delegate, it is all in this operating system that's in one place. Now, obviously, in order to execute all of this, you need to hire people. And so now I'm going to break down my specific org chart that I would create to actually go from that 10K to 30K per month. The thing is, at this stage, you don't need to pay people salaries because that is risky, right? You don't know if you'll get clients. I mean, you should, but you don't know if you'll get clients a month or another month. And so what I like to do is everyone on this list gets paid a percentage of each contract that they work on. So I'm the CEO at the top, and I have a marketing director and a client success director. They both get a percentage of the check that the client pays us in the contract, so they know the exact amount they're paying. And then they're incentivized to get results and fulfill the client service on time because they'll get an additional percentage of the contract as a bonus. The marketing director and client success director handle pretty much like 95% of the fulfillment. And I kind of come in as the executive leader, talking to the client, showing face, and then also providing quality control throughout the process. Now, the marketing directors and client success directors can either act as these people or they manage these people. So under the marketing director, there's a content strategist, a copywriter, and then the head of editing. The content strategist pretty much compiles all of the business information and then creates detailed market research and competitive analysis reports that can then be used by the copywriter who actually goes and writes all of the scripts. A lot of times I just have the marketing director do both of these roles, but sometimes for heavier projects, we actually have someone doing these individual pieces. The client success director manages the head of edits, generative creator, and then the social media manager. But it really depends on the situation and scope of the project. The generative creator is pretty much the person that uses these AI tools like HeyGen and 11 Labs to actually create the AI avatar for the client. So they take whatever scripts the copywriter makes and then generates the video using AI. That video then goes to the head of edits, who usually manages multiple editors based on how much content we're looking to put out, and then has that content approved by the marketing director, client success director, and sometimes me. Once that edit is approved, it then goes to the client success director and social media manager, who actually creates the videos and posts them on the platforms. And so this is pretty much the base level system. You aren't going to need many more people other than like maybe financial accountants, CPAs, and just general adjacent services that a business would need. But really having all of these systems in place and having a team to delegate most of this work to, that is what is going to get you to that 30K per month. And that's pretty much it. That is exactly how I would go from absolute zero to 30K per month as quick as humanly possible if I was to start over from scratch. To be honest with you, when I first started, I had 0 clients, 0 case studies, and 0 knowledge in the space. But I still made it work by testing out different offers, structures for the offers, sales processes, and just different fulfillment mechanisms until I got to where I am today. Watching this video is honestly enough to get you to that 30K per month mark simply by implementing what you just saw. But the reality is, there's so many nuances and errors and problems that you face along the way that by doing it alone, it's gonna take much longer. So if you're serious about actually starting this business model, click the first link in the description below to schedule a call with me and my team to see if you would be a good fit for my one-on-one mentorship, where I will guide you through this exact process and help you get to that first 10K month within 90 days of working with me. And if that doesn't happen, I will keep working with you until it does. You don't need to be a coder or have technical skills. You don't need a large existing audience, and you don't even need experience starting a business or running a business. I'm going to work with you personally to understand your current situation, knowledge base, and network to see where we can go and create a custom roadmap and guide you through that roadmap to help you hitting your goals. And look, this is only for people that are serious and genuinely committed to making this work. You don't need to quit your 9-to-5. You don't need to take some absurd action. You just need to be serious and dialed in to implement the information and knowledge that I'm going to provide for you. So if that sounds valuable to you, click the link below and schedule a call to speak with me or my team, and we'll see if you're a good fit. Make sure to like this video if it was valuable, and let me know in the comment section what you want to see next, or if you have any questions about what I spoke about in this exact video. I'm posting consistently on this YouTube account now, so make sure to subscribe so you're the first one to watch these videos, because the time is now. So thank you for watching this video, and as always, take care.